Hi everybody, welcome back to the Ryan Weiss Show. Today I'm pleased to present to you another lesson for my kids. This video series is called Lessons for My Kids. It's lessons that I want to make sure my children learn when they grow up. And I'm recording these videos so that if anything were to happen to me, they can still learn these lessons that I think are very important from me. Today I'm pleased to present a lesson that I'm calling Get Married. So in today's video, you'll hear an apologetic for marriage. And then I'd also like to share my personal experience of being married, as well as some of the intangible benefits that I think that you receive by being married. So being married or getting married is a choice that you will make at some point in your life. And my recommendation is, if you are faced with that choice, you choose to get married. Now, spousal selection is extremely important. I think I'll probably do a separate video on how to select a compatible spouse. But assuming that you have a good candidate, my recommendation is pull the trigger, get married. And I'll tell you about some of the specific tangible benefits to getting married. So first, if you take a look at your emotional well-being, according to a 2025 study, 86% of married men rated their life happiness levels as very high, compared to just 66% of unmarried men. The numbers were similar for women. For women, it was something like 88% of married women reported very high levels of life happiness versus something like 72% of unmarried women. Now that that study right there is kind of interesting. You know, that says that more unmarried women are happy than unmarried men. But if I could, you know, I would like to see the age cohorts for that study, because, you know, in my experience, younger women are typically happier being unwed than older women. So I'd be interested in seeing what the what the particular age demographics of that study are. Number two, you have a lower risk of depression. Just generally, I don't have the specific number on this, but when you're married, your risks of depressive episodes are fewer. Moving on to physical benefits, you have higher rates of physical health, and you have better habits generally, including eating better and exercising more. Get this, if you're married, you will add 2 additional years to your lifespan. 2 additional years. So if you like being alive, you might want to consider getting married. Additionally, if you're diagnosed with cancer, you will add 5.75 years to your lifespan. That's right, 5.75 years. So people who receive a cancer diagnosis and are married, on average, have 5.75 years of additional lifespan. It's incredible. Your odds of surviving a heart attack go up by 14% if you're married, so better chance of surviving a heart attack. And overall, your risks of death decrease by 20 to 40%. Just all-cause mortality goes down 20 to 40% when you're married. So the physical benefits to getting married are massive. And now you can ask yourself why these benefits exist, and I think that's an interesting discussion. I think having someone else to live for is a big reason of this, but you know, I don't know exactly why. You know, that's just my guess. Moving on into some other benefits of marriage, specifically there's a benefit for women, which is if you're married, your odds of being a victim of domestic violence go down by 80%. And if you decide to start a family and have children, which I also recommend, the odds of the children being abused go substantially down if you're married, something like 60% lower risk of child abuse. So women are less likely to be harmed, children are less likely to be abused. That's, you know, just some of the power of marriage. If we talk about financial, right, everyone wants to make more money, have more money. You pay less taxes if you're married due to more favorable tax laws. You have unlimited tax-free asset transfers and estate tax exemptions if you're married. So less of your money is going to the government if you're married. You also have a much higher net worth and higher income. For people under the age of 35, you have 9 times more wealth on average. And just for the general population, married people are 35% wealthier on average. And on the income side of the equation, married people earn 26% more per person than unmarried people. So you have a higher income, you have higher levels of wealth, you pay less taxes, you live longer, you're healthier, you're happier. It's tough to find an area of your life that is not improved on average by being married. Now, one little caveat I'll add is that, of course, marriage is not a cure-all, and it's not going to solve your life problems, and there's no guarantee that you'll be happy, especially if you marry the wrong person. Staying in a terrible marriage or an abusive relationship is absolutely going to negatively affect your life happiness. So I'm just talking about the averages, and odds are you'll fall into the averages. So, odds are your happiness and health and wealth and income will be improved if you get married. And especially if you're going to have a family, I just highly, highly recommend getting married. There's better outcomes for children, including education and economic mobility factors. So get married and stay married is my advice. Now, for some of the intangible benefits and my experience of getting married, I got married young. I was 24 and my wife was 23. And getting married has been absolutely wonderful for my life. Now, it might be because I have a particularly fantastic spouse, and I think that is the case. But I think, too, I'm just getting some of the general benefits of being married. And one of the things that has affected me as a man by getting married, and now especially becoming a father, is I have such a greater sense of purpose and fulfillment in my life. I feel like every day I have very clear reasons to live and reasons to do well. And, when I wake up in the morning, I look next to me and I see my wife, and that's one of the reasons why I need to live and need to do well. And then when my kids run into my bedroom and say, "Good morning, Daddy," that's another reason to live and do well. And so, it's great to be loved. It's just great to be loved. It's great to have a life partner, someone that you can share your stresses with, share your worries, share your ideas, build things together, build a family together. Someone who is not conditional. So many things in life are conditional. Your job is conditional, right? You have to show up and do the work. Otherwise, you don't have a job anymore. Oftentimes, friendships are conditional. There are certain expectations. So many things and relationships and activities in life are conditional. And so it's nice to have a rock there, someone who is going to be there for you and help you, and, you can just share your life with. It's a beautiful thing. So those are my thoughts on marriage. I recommend you get married. The benefits are substantial. My experience of it has been wonderful. And I hope you consider this. And if you're dating, consider proposing. If you're single, consider dating. And if you're married, send your spouse a message letting them know what you appreciate about them. All right. Thanks very much for watching this video. And tune in sometime soon. I might do a video next week on why you should not get divorced, or I might do a video on spousal selection. I'm really excited about the spousal selection video. So, all right. Thanks for watching. This is The Ryan Weiss Show, and I'll talk to you soon.